Alrighty, guys, thanks for joining me. This is your host, ID Jester. We're going to be starting a brand new project here, and what I'm calling this is the last 30. So this is kind of an introductory video and kind of explaining what we're doing, and we're actually going to be selecting our team and everything in this. So what I've decided to do is I'm doing a 1989 Kansas City Royals replay from 1989 and doing the whole season, 162 games, man, that takes a long time. And, you can get kind of burned down on it after a while and take a break and then come back to it and all that. So, what I decided to do was just take the last 30 games or so of the season and just replay those. So, what we're going to do is we're going to be using Replay Baseball here, the 2016 season, because unfortunately that's the only one I have right now. And we're going to have the computer simulate April, May, June, July, and August, all the way through August 30th. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find a team that's in the hunt um, going into September 1st, and then take that team through the last month of the season, last 30. So this will be season one of this. That's because I've played shenanigans in every Red Sox game. Yes, so there are some caveats I will say. I will not play. I will not play the Boston Red Sox. I will not play the Chicago Cubs. And I will not play the St. Louis Cardinals because I would be too invested in that. So we're going to try and find somebody else that's in the hunt. Again, replaying a season, all 162 games, can be a major task. It can really drag you down. But I think, if you just play like the last month. So that's what this is. This is going to be the last 30. Season one. Again, I'm going into this blind because I don't know who we're choosing. We're gonna look at the standings come October 30th, and we're going to see a team that's in the hunt. Probably in the wild card, maybe a couple games out of the wild card or something like that, and we'll see if we can lead them into the postseason. So it'll make it a little bit interesting and exciting here. So hopefully, and it'll only be about 30 games, give or take, and we'll be able to get that done within a month ourselves. We'll play one game a day or a couple games. If I miss a day, we'll play a couple games, and they go pretty quick here in Replay Sports, anyways. So we're gonna go ahead and load up the 2016 season. Uh-oh, that was rough. Wait until you hear my project. But I've enjoyed because I'm bringing a true human element to it. Oh boy, I can't wait to hear about your project. Clinton Parks, thanks for joining me, my friend. Hopefully you checked it out. So, yep, we're just going to let the computer simulate April, May, June, July, and August. Then I'm going to look at the standings at the end of each month, and we'll just see how things are progressing through the season. And then we'll pick a team that's in the hunt. I'm not going to pick a team that's like 8 games out or something like that. I mean, you can always count on Boston collapsing in September. I mean, that's pretty much a given. But I'm still not going to choose like a team that's like 8 games out just because I'll probably find a team that's maybe 1 game out or maybe a wild card team or maybe even winning the division by game or something like that to make things interesting. And we don't know what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and autoplay the rest of this month. Now this will be March. It'll only be two days. Oh, it's actually going to go right into April. Good for us. All right. So you can see the batting leaders there. And you can see the home run leaders. Looks like Brian Dozier from Minnesota's. Kyle Seager from Seattle. Runs batted in, Robinson Cano has got 12. Kyle Seager's got 12. Earned run and average. Jordan Zimmerman, 1.46 average. Strikeouts, Chris Sale, 29 strikeouts. The wins, looks like Luke Hectovar. Oh, no, Marcus Stroman just took over that. 4 wins on the season there. And so it simulates the games pretty fast, so it should take us just a few minutes to get into this. Brian Dozier still winning home runs with 11. Mike Moustakas runs banded in for Kansas City, 27. He's now tied with Hanley Ramirez from the Bo Sox. Earned run average, Rich Hill from Oakland, 1.47 now. Interesting stuff. We're just watching to just let's see who's hot in April. Lots of hot players there in April. Play of the day, Alex Rodriguez. I don't know if you ever heard of Alex Rodriguez. Play of the day took place in the game between the Yankees and the Bo Sox in Fenway Park on Saturday. Top of the 7th, New York batting, man on first, 2 outs trailing 3-2. Alex Rodriguez hits a 2-run home run to win the game for the Yankees. I'm sure Mr. Clinton Parks loves to hear that. Good evening, Mr. Beatles. I was just explaining my new project here. What we're doing is I'm going to be playing the last 30 days of the 2016 season. I don't know who we're choosing yet. What I want to do is have Replay Baseball play through until August 30th, and then we're going to find a team that's in the hunt, and we're going to lead that team on into the playoffs. So the last 30, this way it's not too big a project. You're only playing, about 30 games or so, and can get done, within a month or so. And, you don't get burned down on it, stuff like that. So that's what we're doing. So thanks to Beatles Eternally for showing up. Alex Rodriguez. Let's take a look at the standings here at the end of April 30th. Let's see what's going on. Boston's winning their division by 1.5 games over Baltimore. Tampa Bay's only 3.5 out. In the Central Division, Detroit has a 1-game lead over Kansas City. Cleveland, interesting enough, who actually, if I'm not mistaken, won their division in 2016. Yeah, Cleveland won their division in 2016. They are in last place in the Central Division. In the West, the Angels, with a 12-12 record, are half a game against Seattle and 2 games up on Houston. Of course, it's really early yet in the season. In the National League, the Mets are in front, 2.5 against Miami and Washington. In the Central Division, Chicago is winning their division 1 game up on the Pirates. St. Louis 6 games back. In the West Division, Colorado's winning. San Francisco 2 games back. The Dodgers 4 back. All right, so let's go back to the schedule, and we're going to say play month. And we're going to go through May and see how things churn out in May. So it should be interesting to see. Go Bucks, says Beatles Eternally. Big Pirates fan. And he's pretty jealous that I live in the Bradenton, Florida, where the Pittsburgh Pirates are the hometown spring training team. And I get to see them every day out my window at work. So looks like Jose Altuve is batting .374. Nope. Just got knocked off by Nelson Cruz. Brian Dozier is still winning in home runs and increased that to 17 so far. Jose Bautista for Toronto, 38-39 home run, or 39 runs batted in. Marcus Stroman for Toronto, 2.11 ERA. Looks like Justin Verlander for Detroit. He's got 8 wins on the season. Hot in May, Melky Cabrera batting .413. David Ortiz for the Bo Sox, 9 home runs in May so far. Ends up with 10. Oh, we're not quite done yet. Yes, I'm jealous. You live right next. No, I don't live right next to Mackenzie Field, but I can look out my window at work and I see the ballpark. It's about 8 blocks from where I work, but I work on the 8th floor, and there's really no tall buildings in Bradenton. We're kind of like, there's one other building that's kind of tall. So I just see over everything. So I can see it from, when I go to the spring training games, I just walk from work over there. It takes me like 5 minutes. Play of the day, Pedro Alvarez. The play of the day took place between the game Boston and Baltimore. Once again, Boston involved in play of the day. Bottom of the 9th, Baltimore batting, men on first and second, nobody out, trailing 5-3. Pedro Alvarez hits a game-winning 3-run home run. So we've ended the month. Both times Boston got beat by a home run. Oh, Clinton Parks, more shenanigans, more. Let's take a look at where the standings lay now at the end of May. Boston 1 game up on Toronto. Baltimore only 2 games back in the Central Division, so that was pretty much the same. In the Central Division, Detroit 5 games up on Minnesota. Cleveland still in the bottom of their division. Wow, that's interesting. Looks like in the West we've had a change as the Angels have faltered a little bit. They're now a game and a half behind Houston and Seattle, who are both tied. So right now, if we were to look at that, we would probably pick Houston or Seattle because I think that would be the most interesting last 30. But of course, we're not quite there yet. In the National League, we got the Miami Marlins, half a game against the Mets. Washington are only 2.5 back, so that division's really cranking up good. Seattle, I'm sorry, in the Central Division, Chicago's half a game against Pittsburgh. 10 games back is Milwaukee. 15.5 games back is St. Louis. In the West Division, Colorado's still holding on. Arizona 5.5 back. San Francisco's fallen a little bit back. So at the end of May, things changing up a little bit here. So let's go ahead and simulate the month of June. Tight race in the American League East, says Beatles. At least I get to see the Pirates AA team here in Portland when they show up. Alrighty, let's see here. Batting leaders in the National League looks like Charlie Blackmon, 425 average. Trevor Story for Colorado, 26 home runs. He also has 70 runs batted in. Pitching leaders, Jose Fernandez, 1.55. We all know, unfortunately, what happened to Jose Fernandez in the 2016 season. Unfortunately, you can see there, it's kind of sad, actually. You can see he's actually got the earned run average at the top and the most strikeouts, 113. Hot in June, Daniel Murphy for Washington, Charlie Blackmon for Colorado. And that's going to do it for the, oh no, June is still going, sorry. You can see the divisions are moving around. Teams are going up. Oh, looks like Pittsburgh's taking the lead over the Chicago Cubs in the National League Central Division. I know Beatles Eternally has been watching that right side pretty hard here as we go through the month of June. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, we're getting up to the end of June here. One more day. Let's see what happens here. Well, maybe we'll have another home run against Boston to win it. And play of the day, Marcus Semien. The play of the day took place between the San Francisco and Oakland at Ocho Coliseum on Thursday. Bottom of the 11th, Oakland batting, bases empty, 2 outs, game tied. Marcus Semien hits a game-winning solo home run. So at least it wasn't against Boston this time. Beatles attorney says he's watching it like a hawk. So let's go ahead and check out the standings here. All right, in the East, Boston still holds a 2-game lead against Baltimore and 3.5 against Toronto. So Baltimore and Toronto switch positions there. In the Central, still the Tigers 3 games up on the White Sox. In the West Division, holy cow, Seattle and Houston tied at 39 wins and 40 losses. 4 games back is Oakland, and the Angels really taking a step back after their early April. They're now 6 games back. In the National League, we have the Mets now overtaking the Marlins by a game and a half. 3 games back is Washington. In the Central Division, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Buccos, now beating up on the Cubs by a game and a half. St. Louis, 17.5 games back, 32 and 46. Ugh. Colorado's still winning out in the West. San Francisco making a little bit of a comeback, but they're still 7.5 games back to those Colorado Rockies. All right, looking good so far. Interesting how I had actually simulated this just to see how it would, what we were looking at before I decided to do this project. And I should have taken a screenshot of the results, but it was quite different than this, so that's pretty good. All right, so now we go on to the month of July and see where everything stands at the month of July. All righty, here we go. We're up to July 4th already. Pittsburgh still in top there by only half a game though. Boston's still winning, but they're only up by half a game. Detroit's still winning their division. Cleveland with 36 and 51 halfway through the season. Oh my gosh. Cleveland needs to get on a real hot streak if they're going to make the playoffs this year. I don't know if somebody got hurt on their team. It does use historic lineups, but I think it also does use injuries and stuff. Charlie Blackmon and Jose Altuve with the best averages in the league. Most home runs, Trevor Story in the National League. David Ortiz, 34 for the American League. Most wins, Verlander in the American League with 15. John Lester for Chicago with 12. Hot in July, Tyler Naquin for Cleveland, 442 average. Hot in July for the National League, Miguel Rios for the Marlins, 438 average. Oh, and we have a change there in the Central Division as the Cubs have taken back over Pittsburgh. All right, we're at the end of July. We got one more month to run here. Play of the day, Gregory Polanco. The play of the day took place between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers at Miller Park on Sunday. Top of the ninth, Pittsburgh batting. Men on first and second, 2 outs, trailing 5-4. Gregory Polanco hits a 3-run home run. That's quite exciting. All right, let's look at the standings here. All right, well, let's take a look, closer look here. Baltimore's now taking over in the East, half a game up on Toronto. Boston 1.5, so that's been a really good division this year. Detroit's still up; they're going coast to coast here. 4 games up on the White Sox. In the West, looks like Seattle's faltered a little bit as Houston now takes a 4.5 game lead in the West. In the National League, we have the Mets 7.5 up against Washington. In the Central Division, the Pirates just a half game back of the Cubs. And in the West, Colorado's still holding on strong. San Francisco now 10 games back. The Dodgers only 7. One more month to play, and then we'll have to make a decision on what we're doing. But I wanted to kind of look at each month so I can understand the flow of what's going on, which teams are getting hot, which teams are getting cold. All right, here we go. So that was July. So we're going to sim all the way to the end of August. And this will then let us figure out which it would be a good team to play the last 30, Season 1, 2016 baseball season, PC replay. All righty, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Pittsburgh and Chicago tied in the National League Central Division. Baltimore still 3 games up on Toronto. Boston now 3.5 back. Boston now 2.5 games back. Houston and Seattle's 5.5 games back. In the West, in the National League, Colorado's still holding strong. The Rockies. They're gonna come out of August with the lead in the division possibly. The Mets still up by 2.5 against Washington. 3 games up now. Oh, 2.5. Ooh, it's coming down here. We're halfway through the month. Hot in August is going to be Juan Centeno for Minnesota. Oh, nope. Devin Travis for Toronto. And in the National League, it's going to be Tony Walters for Colorado and Daniel Murphy. No, they've been jumped over by Adam Frazier of Pittsburgh. We're at August 25th. 5 more days to go. All righty, and that's going to, oh, there's 31 days in August. 31. Who would have thought? All right, play of the day. Jason Hayward. Play of the day took place between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field on Wednesday, bottom of the 10th. Chicago batting bases empty, 1 out, game tie. Jason Hayward hits a game-winning solo home run against the Buccos. And let's take a look at where we stand now, all right? So in the American League, we have Boston, Boston fought back. I have to give you credit. Boston fought back. They're now 1 game up on Toronto, 6 games up on Baltimore. In the Central Division, going wire to wire so far, Detroit ahead of Chicago. There hasn't been much change in that division. Cleveland's now at least not in last place, but just by half a game. And in the West, 5 games up is Houston. Seattle has faltered a little bit there in the second half of the season. In the National League, the Mets 2 over Washington. Miami's really faltered. They had an early, I think it was up until May they were winning that division. Now they're 12 games back. I think the loss of Felix Hernandez really, really decimated that team. Chicago now 2.5 up on Pittsburgh. St. Louis making a little bit of a comeback, but they're pretty much out of it with 15 games back. And Colorado's still holding strong in the West, 5.5 games up on the Giants and 6 games up on the Dodgers. If we look at the wild card standings, the closest division race is actually in the East. Boston is only a game up on Toronto. That's the closest we have. We also have Washington 2 games back of the Mets. Pittsburgh 2 games up on, or Chicago 2.5 games up on Pittsburgh. Now let's see how the wild card shakes out. So Toronto is 5 games up on Baltimore. 9.5 up on the Yankees, 10.5 up on the White Sox. In the National League, Washington has got the tiebreaker, and they're 1 game up on Pittsburgh, and then Miami. So it's going to come down to Washington and Pittsburgh, and I don't see anybody. I mean, Miami, San Francisco, the Dodgers. They'd have to really get hot to make that. So, there really isn't any really tight, close races, unlike what we saw in like June and July. It's kind of everything kind of separated a little bit, which is kind of disappointing. Just checking out the chat to see if they're talking about anything interesting. Who was the all-time home run king before Babe Ruth? Beatles eternally asks. And Clinton Parks answers, of course, Roger Connor. And Beatles is like, well done, historian. Wasn't easy. Had to think that one through. Almost forgot the old AA and now. My mind wants to think of the AA as minor league, says Clinton Parks. So, yeah, what are we going to do? Which is going to be the most interesting and fun one? I'm thinking Toronto. They're only a game back, so they might be able to overtake Boston. And what was their lead? They're 5 games up on Baltimore. Not really close there, but I wonder. That should be a pretty good. I mean, it was pretty good most of the season. Was the East Division in the American League. Yeah. Nope. How do I go back? Get me out of this. Goes. Okay, good. Went to click wild card. There we go. The wild card in the National League isn't even that interesting because you're going to get 2 wild card teams in, and it's going to be Washington, Pittsburgh. The only thing that's going to matter is where they're going to play. I don't see Miami or San Francisco with 30 games left making up 10 games. I mean, there's always anything's possible. Of course, anything's possible, but and I think this, again, we kind of have the same situation up here. It's Toronto and Baltimore, and the other teams are kind of out of it. But the only thing that Toronto brings is they still have a shot at actually winning their division because they're only a game back. What do you guys think? If you guys were going to replay this and you didn't have a choice, or you didn't have any thought about which team ahead of time you were going to do, I'm thinking the Toronto Blue Jays. That's just what I'm thinking off the top of my head. Pittsburgh could take over the lead. Yeah, they're only 2.5 back. That's true. Let's take a look at Pittsburgh here. Let's see what their schedule let's see what their schedule looks like coming up in September. So they play Milwaukee, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Washington, the Cubs, and then they end with St. Louis. So they actually only play the Cubs once. They play St. Louis twice. They play Cincinnati twice, and it's 2 4-game series. Oh my God. They play a 4-game series, and then they go to Philadelphia, and then they play another 4-game series. Let's look at Toronto's schedule. All right, Toronto plays Tampa Bay, the Yankees, Boston, Tampa Bay, the Angels, Seattle, the Yankees, Baltimore, and then Boston. And how many games is that going to actually be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So it would be 29 games. He must have a game off September 1st, September 8th, the 22nd. The 1914 Braves were in last place on July 4th, and they ended up winning the series. So, yep, anything can happen. Oh, well, that's 1914. Who cares about that? And yes, I would say go with Toronto as well, says Beatles. Clinton Spark says, oh, okay, go with Toronto. I'm just looking to see what matchups we have. I want interesting matchups as well. Toronto has to play Boston once, and then they end the season in Boston. They have to fight Baltimore, which is in their, the rate ahead of Baltimore. I think. Let's see who we have here. Of course, we have Josh Donaldson, Edward Encarnacion, Kevin Pillar, J.A. Happ, Aaron Sanchez, Roberto Osuna, Marcus Stroman, Alex Cobb. Oh, no, Alex Cobb's on Tampa Bay, sorry. Next opponent's Tampa Bay. Steven Souza with Evan Longoria. So let's take a look at so far they got 605 runs. They're 18th in runs. 248 batting, so they're 24th in batting. 335 on base, 5th, and slugging their 13th with 419. ERA, 3.78, 6th place. Quality starts are first with 87 quality starts. 6th in whip with a 1.25, and 5th with a bat against average of 240. So their pitching's definitely keeping them in the game, or in the season. Let's look at their statistics. Availability, roster, lineups, profiles. Okay, nothing there. Okay. It was interesting because I care about 1914, says Minos. Okay. Righty. Sure. I mean, Chicago would be actually Washington wouldn't be a bad pick either. They're only 2 games back of the Mets. Let's look at Washington's schedule. They're 2 games back of the Mets, and where are they in the wild card? They are. Oh, they're the team in the wild card, right? So they're 1 game up on Pittsburgh in the wild card, and they're 2 games out of winning the division against the Mets. Let's see what matchups we got there. How come none of you? What can I say? I love the dead bowler. I'm not. I totally get it, man. I'm not saying anything. Let's see who. I'm surprised you guys didn't pick out on Washington here. So we have. Look at that. We got 3 against the Mets coming up, and then Atlanta, and then 4 against Philadelphia, and then 3 more against the Mets. Then 3 against Atlanta, 3 against Miami, 3 against Pittsburgh, 4 against Arizona, and 3 against Miami to end the season. Because you can't use the DH. Let's see. If we just look at like position, they've been second, third, second. All of August, they were second place. And games back, they started at 6.5 games back, and they cut that all the way down to 2 games back. Ken Castro says, I care about 1914 as well. Ken Castro, my friend, what's going on? So we're going to be playing the last 30 days of the season. We're just trying to figure out which team would be the most interesting based upon the random play of the computer sim. So Boston's a game up against Toronto, and Detroit's 8.5 games up against the White Sox. Houston's 5 games up against Seattle. The Mets are 2 games up on Washington. The Pirates are 2.5 behind the Cubs, and San Francisco is 5.5 back. If we look at the wild cards, unfortunately for us, the wild cards are kind of already locked in with Toronto and Baltimore. I guess someone could catch Baltimore, but in the National League, Washington, Pittsburgh, and then 10 games separate Pittsburgh and Miami. I mean, anything's possible, true. I'm not saying nothing can happen, but we all know how the Bo Sox love to blow leads in September. Hey, Mark, how you doing? That's good to see you as well. So we got Ken Castro that just joined us, Mark Forsberg. He's playing Baltimore versus the A's in a doubleheader. Baltimore took game 1 5-2. In the second game, Baltimore has a 3-0 lead after 4 in 2016 replay baseball. Oh, you're playing replay baseball. Really? Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we could do Toronto and watch Boston collapse again. I mean, that's always a fun thing to watch. We do actually play Boston a few times. So it's either going to be Boston, Washington, or Pittsburgh, I think are going to be the three most interesting ones. Have I broadcast this before? Have I broadcast replay baseball? Yeah, I've done. I was doing the Baltimore Orioles, and I got up to about game 50 or 60 and stopped doing it. So that's why I decided if I'm going to do another project, I don't want to do another 162 game series. So I'm only going to do like the last 30. And then when I do this game with replay, then I'll probably do like the last 30 and we'll do like maybe Dave Coach, Action PC Baseball, and a different season. And then we'll let it sim and then we'll do the same thing. And then this way you can get them all done pretty quick. Within a month, we should be able to get these last games in, especially if I do a double or triple header one day too. So Toronto, Washington, or Pittsburgh will be your choices. Anybody have, based upon the situation here, don't use your own personal preferences because I'm actually thinking Washington might be pretty cool because they have a chance of catching the Mets, and they also have a chance of catching Pittsburgh for the wild card. Ken Castro says Toronto. I'm going to make up my mind here. Tampa Bay, Yankees, Boston, Rays, Angels, Mariners, Yankees, Baltimore, and Boston. So these last 6 games are going to be huge. These last 6 games. Beatles Eternally says he says still Toronto. All right, that's it. We're going to do Toronto. We're going to do Toronto. So right now they're 76 and 57. They're 1 game back. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They won 2. Home record 43 and 25. Road record 33 and 32. They're 25 and 15 in 1-run games and 5 and 8 in extra innings. For Toronto, we actually did look at their stats earlier, but here they are. They're first in quality starts, 6th in WHIP, 5th in batting against average. They definitely got some pitchers. The question is, can their hitting catch up with it? So the next game is against Toronto. I'm sorry, Toronto is at Tampa Bay. Alex Cobb. So if we go to schedule, no, I'm gonna have to go back here. That's where we're going. I think I can actually go into options and tell it that I am going to yeah. Team manager profile. Is this where I do it? No, I think that's for something else. I think there's a way to. Actually, Toronto's schedule is actually tough by your current standings. Clinton Parks. Beats, what is the quality start? Is there like a complete game? I think I can actually tell it somewhere in here that I'm playing. End schedule game, no. I don't know where I thought it was going to be. Okay, well, let's go. Let's go to September 1st. Because I think if you designate yourself as that team, then it takes you to like the team page is like your default page. Like when no, not this one. Trade reports. It's got to be in the options. Hang on. Season options. It's got to be in here, I bet. You can add an unscheduled game with. No, I don't want to add an unscheduled game. Betting away. Display options. Reset season. I don't want to do that. Team manager profile distribution. What? I think this is all for like if you're running leagues and stuff. I know I did it when I did the last one. All right, let's go to the schedule. And actually on September 1st they don't play, so we can just auto play the day. We have the White Sox against Minnesota. We have San Diego against Atlanta, San Francisco against Chicago, and Miami against New York. Let's go ahead and auto play the day. Chicago wins in 11. Atlanta shuts out San Diego. The Cubs beat San Francisco 3-1, and the Miami Marlins crush the New York Mets 11-4 off 18 hits. So let's go to September 2nd now. Where is Toronto? Toronto and Tampa Bay. So if I go to play, I must be doing something wrong because it used to just have the screen and go. All right, how do I exit? Do I exit out by doing this? Well, I exited out, but not exactly what I wanted. There's the standings. There's the stats. There's the league leaders. Here's the highlights. Teams. So if I say Toronto, is there a way to tell Toronto that I will now take over? What's this up here? That's like print, schedule, statistics, roster. Oh, is that what I was doing wrong? Was okay, let me go back to schedule here. Go here. Schedule. Toronto quick start. There we go. All AI. There we go. And I don't have my pictures loaded up. Damn, I'm going to have to do that. But I'll see if I can figure that out for next time. I think this is play ball, right? All right. So, let's play some ball.
Live from Tampa Bay. Top of the first.
Top of the first. All right. Let's look at the starting lineups. There's Tropicana Field. Toronto has Bautista, Donaldson, Edward Encarnacion, Saunders, Martin, Tulowitzki, Upton Jr., Pilar, and Travis. And for, let's see if I click on, all right. Alex Cobb will be pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays. Alex Cobb, let's see, so far. He's got nothing. Oh, that's, no, this is this game, right? All right, well, anyways, here we go. He walked him, so Bautista on with the leadoff walk.
No outs, man on first.
No outs, man on first. Hit and run, sacrifice. Hit to third. It's possible error. Roll against the error rating. It's a 51, so I think our number has to be higher than 51. Roll is not higher, so there's no error on the play. Ground ball. Bautista's out as second. Donaldson makes it down in time. Evan Longoria, no error on the play.
1 out, man on first.
There's 1 out, man on first. All right, 2 up. Edward Encarnacion so far on the season. What's he batting? He's batting 274. He's got himself 135 hits, 28 home runs. Here's the windup in the pitch. He walks another one here in the top of the first. Donaldson moves to second. Encarnacion goes to first.
1 out, men on first and second.
Alex Cobb off to a rough start here. Top of the first. That's a 40. It's going to be a single in the right field. Donaldson, he's rounding third, coming home. And the Toronto faithful not happy with that play. Runner from second scores. And runner on first moves to second if he's got a speed less than 3. So a single by Donaldson.
1 out, men on first and second.
Drives in the first run of the game. Now, I know there's a way to get the other scores up here. Let's see. It is, I think, let's see. How do I get the other? Auto watch? No. I know there's a way to do it. This makes me want to roll tonight, says Ken Castro. I like this, and you can roll your own. No pun intended. Yes, you can use the option here to manual input if you want to roll your own dice. I know Clinton Park likes that a lot. I know there's a way to options. Let's turn down. Is the crowd noise too loud for you guys, or is it okay? I know you can adjust that in the sound options. I know there's a way to actually have it so like the other team scores or show up somewhere. I thought you clicked on, maybe you right-click the card. No, that gives you the Tampa Bay lineup. So the Tampa Bay lineup is going to be Forsberg at second, Killmeyer in center field, Longoria at third, Miller at first, Duffy at short, Morrison is DH, Franklin right fielder, Dickerson left fielder, and Molly is the catcher. So, yeah, I don't need that, thanks. How do I switch it back? There we go. So here's the Tropicana Field thing. I know there's a way to get the other scores because that's like really important to, oh wait, what's this? No, that's autoplay. It's obviously been a while since I played. What's this button? Click to enable auto watch. Then click the dice to start. No, I don't want to auto watch. Manually input. Save and exit. Oh no, that's to change like I'll figure it out. Well, let's keep going. Runners at first and second. How many outs are there? Top of the first, 1 out. That's going to be a single to left field. Edward Encarnacion moves to third. Check with the third base coach. What's the third base coach going to do? Extra base, so Edward comes on home. It's 2-0 Toronto. And then the trailing runner gets to check his speed to see if he advances. He's gone on the throw home. Saunders makes it to third. And the Tampa Bay faithful not
One
happy.
out, men on first and third.
Not happy with that play whatsoever. We have a steal option on. Steal option on for Russell Martin. What? Are they crazy? Roll 2 dice. The dice are higher. It's a stolen base for Russell Martin as Alex Cobb is not watching first base at all. And going to second, Russell Martin.
One out, men on second and third.
I don't believe Russell Martin had, let's see, is there a way to bring up his card? That would just insert a pinch runner. I love the interface. I love the look of it. I love the design, everything. I know there's a way to get the goddamn other teams up there. I don't know why they're not showing up. Must be something in the options menu, I'm telling you. Display options, white chalkboard, transparent. We can do with the green background. You can go with the grass background. You go with the custom backdrops. Display fielders photos. Display ball card. Display dice instead of numbers. Highlight the card results in yellow. Display alternate chalkboard results. Show batter pitcher matchup. Auto hide icons. Hide batter pitcher cards. Ballpark. So you could adjust the opacity if you want to be able to see things better. You can adjust the roll of the speed and the runners. Player card results delay. If you want to go really fast and not, you just want to click, keep going. Confirm manual dice entry. Chalkboard speed, how fast it looks up the play. You can adjust that. Click to end the play. End of play delay. Font adjustments. Player card font size. Open season on team screen. Oh, there's where we open to Toronto, right there. Show drop down season selection. Show default player photo. Display landscape ballpark. Play results using fielding numbers. Display replay win-loss record. Current display current pitching stats on the pitcher batting card. I think that's a good option. Ken Castro says he likes the crisp look of the game. Played the card and dice version from 2000 to 2004, but tired of it eventually. White background. Edit park. Click press key to close park entrance. Park delay pitcher. I don't see anything. Where is it to get? I know you can watch the other games in progress, and that's like one of the coolest features because you can actually pause your game and go and actually watch the other game. It's Oh, no. And I thought it was up here in the right-hand corner because I think he just... Oh, wait. Right-click, toggle this... Oh, no, that's just... Okay, yeah. Got it, thanks. All right, well, let's keep going on. Men at second and third. Still only 1 out, 2 runs across for Toronto. Ooh, we got a rare play, rolling even, possible foul out. And we're going to roll. Foul out is 36 or higher. It's going to be just a foul, not foul out. Thank God.
2 outs, men on second and third.
We could toggle the strategy. You can run them safe, or you can try to push them anytime they have it. Oh, it's kind of bugging me because I know you can do it. Oh, it's a double into left center field gap. Killmeyer can't make the play. Upton's going to clear the bases with the double. That's 4 runs for Toronto here in the top of the first. 4 runs on 3 hits.
2 outs, man on second.
Oh, another double. Upton and Pilar releases one into left field. And this is about the way you wanted to start the replay off. 5-0 in the first inning. Woo!
2 outs, man on second.
And fly out to center field.
5
That's
runs,
gonna
4 hits, and 1 left on.
5 runs, 4 hits, 1 left on.
Bottom of the first.
So Marcus Stroman. So you can play defense back in, corners in, first base in, third base in. You can intentionally walk. Display the rosters. Make substitutions. Oh, this is so bugging me. What is this? That's just adjusting how big things are. I don't see. All right, Marcus Stroman. Let's look at his. He's going to have 8 home runs. He's got an ERA of 3.39, a WHIP of 123. Stroman, he's coming in against Logan Forsberg. 5.55. That's going to be a walk. And we could have a real slobber knocker here in Tampa Bay today.
No outs, man on first.
And due up now is Kevin Killmeyer, lefty, 263 average. It's going to be a single in the right field. Forsberg, he's going to round second, head to third. And we got 2 runners on with no one out.
No outs, men on first and third.
Ooh, do we play in or do we give up the run and go for 2? I think we give up the run and go for 2. We don't want halfway. We want back. Put your voice back. Wait a minute. Why is... I should be able to make... Oh, maybe they automatically go halfway instead of back. Okay. 6-6-4. That's going to be a home run. Evan Longoria takes Marcus Stroman deep.
He now has 3 RBIs today.
And just like that, it's 5-3, and it's going to be a slobber knocker here in Tampa Bay.
No outs,
Holy
bases
cow.
empty.
All right, I'm going to definitely adjust the sound. It's way too much. We're not going to play the 7th inning stretch because I love to sing that for you guys. We don't want the crowd background. And we don't care about the stadium sounds. Roll dice. We're going to do it like Clinton Parks. We're going to do it in a cardboard box just for Clinton. Oh, my gosh. And it's 5-3 here in the bottom of the first. Still nobody out. Let's see if we can do something about that this time. That's going to be a live drive towards the gap in the outfield. The outfielder races to make the catch. It's going to be Melvin Upton. We're going to be checking him. 65-66 is going to be a double. It's a 14. He's going to catch it. Melvin, 1 away on Brad Miller's
1 out, bases empty.
pop up there. And due up, Matt M. Duffy. Not just Matt Duffy, it's Matt M. Duffy. And we got a rare play possibility. We rolled a foul ball chance. Nope, we're going to look at a rare play, actually. And it's going to be a base on balls. So Marcus Stroman.
1 out, men on first.
Not impressing the manager here very much. 1 away, runner at first. Possible pickoff. Makes a good throw. It's a roll against Stroman's error rating. And roll is higher. Stroman is charged with an error, sending Duffy to second. Beautiful.
1 out, men on second.
On the wild throw to first, gets away from Encarnacion. It brings up the tying run in Morrison here in the bottom of the first. And it's another walk. Oh my gosh, what's this game set at?
1 out, men on first and second.
This is crazy start. Then we have base action. Oh, great. A wild pitch. And it dies higher. So runners advance on the wild pitch. As
1
Stroman,
out, men on second and third.
have back-to-back errors on Stroman there. No, I guess wild pitches do not count as an error then. All right, fine. Be that way. It's either going to be a single or a home run. Well, isn't this going to be interesting? So 35 or higher, and Tampa Bay is going to take the lead. And oh my gosh, it's got another home run. Wow. And just like that, Tampa Bay comes back with 6 in the bottom of the first inning. Holy cow.
1 out, bases empty.
Who would have thunk it? 1 out, still only 1 out. Strikeout of Dickerson. Good Lord. Jeez,
2
second
out,
out.
bases empty.
That brings up Luke Malley. It's 5:32. It's going to be a ground ball hit to Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki scoops it up, throws it to Edward Encarnacion.
3 hits, 1
Holy
error,
cow.
none left on.
6 runs in the first inning. I thought we were going to
Seven.
blow them out of the water, but guess what, folks? We have got us a slobber knocker here in Tampa Bay. After 1, it's Tampa Bay 6, Toronto 5. Alex Cobb shakes his head as he comes back out. Woof, due up. Jose Bautista, the top of the lineup in the second inning. Let's see if he can get things started again. He's got a ground ball down to Miller. Miller's going to be out, and
1 out, bases empty.
that brings up Josh Donaldson. Hit a grounder to third. Hit by the pitch as Donaldson will take a free pass down to first. We will welcome in Al, a Red Sox fan. Thanks, Al, for showing up here. Playing
1
the
out,
last
man on
30 games of the season for the Toronto Blue Jays in the 2016 season, as they are 2 games back of Boston and 1 game up in the wild card. So, that one's going to be a single or a goner. Edward Encarnacion, 35 or higher. It's going, it's gone. Edward Encarnacion with his 29th of the season. And just like that, Toronto scoots back in front. 7-6.
1 out, bases empty.
Wow. And Alex Cobb has now got his B ratings on, unless, of course, they pull him. That brings up Saunders, left-hander, right fielder, and that was hit to Miller, first base, ground out, unassisted.
2 outs,
2 away.
bases empty.
And that brings up Russell Martin. Singled first time up. Hits it down to Miller again, and it's going to be a possible infielder. Let's see if he's safe. 1 or 6, he's out. 2, we save. So good hustle there by
2
Russell
outs,
Martin.
man on first.
Russell Martin actually stole the base as well. That brings up Tulowitzki, flew out to center. No, flew out to catcher. His first time up. I don't recall that, but okay. Two-way here in the top of the second. Chop trying to get out of the second inning. Pop up to first base, and that's going to do it.
2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 left on.
Toronto takes a 7-6
Bottom of
lead
the second.
going into the bottom of the second. Stroman's, he's on his B rating as well already. Golly. It's a double to center field as Pilar cannot find it. It rolls all the way to the wall. And
No outs,
Forsythe.
man on second.
Do we try to get him through this inning? Ground ball to short. Tulowitzki backhand. Here he throws. It goes to first, and Forsythe stays on second. No
1
advancement.
out, man on second.
Brings up Longoria. Home run his first time up. Possible double play. We're going to roll against the fielder's defense. It's a 2. So I think we need a 1 or 2. 1. So Dye is not higher. Runner in second is back. Oh, it was a liner out. Okay, it was a line out. That's what happened. Yep. Okay. So we had a chance of picking him off, but couldn't make the
2
play.
outs, man on second.
All right, Stroman, let's get this last out, please. Ground ball hit to Tulowitzki, and he's going to gun that one over.
No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on.
And our first goose egg is popped up on the board here at the bottom of the
Top
second.
of the third. They're bringing in a new pitcher.
Yep. They're bringing in Eddie Gamboa. And we don't see any stats for him. Here was his. He relieved 7 games. He pitched 13 1/3, 1.35 ERA, 0-2, no saves, and a 1.28 WHIP. So let's see. We have Melvin Upton Jr. due up. Hit a double his first time up. Ball hit to short. Duffy, possible error on Duffy. He's a 66, so pretty small chance. No error on Duffy, and that's going to be 1 away.
1 out, bases empty.
That brings up Pilar, doubled in the first. He's going to pop that one up high. It's going to Longoria at the edge of the grass and makes the play
2 outs,
two-way.
bases empty.
And that brings up Travis. He's going to ground back to the pitcher.
And just like that, the inning's over.
Just like it. And we got another goose egg.
Bottom of the third.
Things settling down here a little bit. Bottom of 3. And Stroman, we need to switch him for sure. Uh-huh. So let's see. This is, I'm just trying to figure this out because I think this is new. Right. Okay. So I think this is like yesterday, like one game. Okay. Let's see who's coming up. We got a righty, lefty, and both. So a switch hitter, and then another lefty. I think this means he's starting tomorrow, like one day. He's starting the next day. He's starting the next day. He's starting the next day. So, like Nobody pitched yesterday because they had the day off. So 2 days ago, looks like Sanchez pitched all 9 innings. And then it looks like, yeah, okay, so 3 days ago. So this guy hasn't pitched in 5 days. 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 What are you? Are you lefty or righty? Right-hander? Sure. So Joe Bagnini. Baggini. Joe Baggini. He's 5 home runs. An ERA of 3.80, 147 whip. He'll be facing off against Duffy. There we go. I figured that out. That's going to be fly out Upton. He's going to take a few steps to his left, make the catch.
1 out, bases empty.
One thing that's driving me insane is why I can't see the other games. Biagini. There we go. Biagini. Close enough. All right, Biagini against Logan Morrison, who reached on the error and then walked. This is going to be a strike him out.
2 outs, bases empty.
That brings up Franklin. Nick Franklin, home run, his 3rd of the season. He's going to fly out to center field, and Pilar's going to grab that one.
1, 2, 3.
And everyone comes trucking in there.
Top of the 4th.
Top of 4, 7-6 Toronto. This game started off with a bang, literally a bang. Biagini. Thank you, Baseball Demos. Biagini. Eddie Gamboa pitching here in the 4th inning as both pitchers got rocked early. 5 runs for Toronto in the first, 6 runs for Tampa Bay in the first, 2 runs for Toronto. That's where we are right now. We got us a ground ball hit to Longoria. He's going to throw that to Miller, 1 away.
1 out, bases empty.
Brings up Donaldson, ground ball to 3rd, and was also hit by the pitch. That's a 6-6. That's usually a good combo. And this one is launched by Donaldson. Is it? It's gone into the right field bleachers here in Toronto, or here in Tampa Bay, actually. And that's going to make it Donaldson. I don't know what number he is.
1 out,
but
bases empty.
good job for Donaldson there. He's going to extend the lead to 8-6 here in the 4th inning. It brings up Edward Encarnacion. That's going to be a 11 based on balls. So walks Edward.
1 out, man on first.
Edward and Saunders singled in the first and hit it to the first baseman. Oh, 26 is usually a ballpark effect here. This one's to Kilmar in the gap. He's going to race over. Is he going to make it? 65 or 66? It doesn't fall in. Is Kilmar, very good defender. He's going to make that play. And
2
Edwards
outs, man on first.
stays at first. And brings up Russell Martin. 2 singles on the day for Martin. He's got a 4, which is a strikeout. Usually really, really low numbers. Totals are
1
going to
run,
be
1 hit, and 1 left on.
are usually strikeouts.
Bottom of the 4th.
We got baseball demos in the house. Don't forget, everyone, if you're just joining us, next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, baseball demos. We got a lot of stuff to talk with him about. Hey, baseball demos, since you are here, if you remember, how do I get the other scores to pop up on the screen? It's driving me insane. I know you can do it. I just can't remember how. I went in and looked at all the options I could find, but it's driving me insane. I haven't been able to even concentrate on the game because I want... All right, we're in the top of the fifth. Joe Biagini. Biagini. Sorry, that's right. Baseball Demos was teaching me how to do that. 2-1-6, that's going to be a ground ball to short. I'm sorry, we're in the bottom of the fourth. That's right. I guess we should let them bat.
1 out, bases empty.
That brings up Biagini versus Luke Malley. That's going to be a line drive hit to left field. That's going to fall in front of Upton. Upton racing over. Is he going to make it? That's going to be a single.
Hit streak going.
Malley's hit streak,
1
huh?
out, man on first.
Logan Forsythe walked and doubled, and he's going to hit it to second. We're going to try second to first double play to end the inning.
No runs, 1 hit,
There you go.
and none left on.
Good job, boys.
Top of the fifth. They're bringing in a new pitcher.
Bringing in a new one. Brad Boxberger. Brad so far has pitched 20 innings, given up 15 hits, 2 home runs, 6 runs, 7 walks, 9 strikeouts, 2.70 ERA, and a 1.10 WHIP. He'll be facing off against Tulowitzki, Upton Jr., and Pilar. That's going to be a 7. 7's going to be a pop-up to second base. 1 away.
1 out, base is empty.
That brings up Upton. Doubled in his doubled. And grounded to short. That's going to be hit to Logan Forsythe at second. Easy play.
2 outs, base is empty.
Nothing going on here in the fifth inning. Let's see if Pilar can do something. That's a 5. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a curveball.
It's a 1-2-3 inning.
Swinging at the Nietzsche, as Stratomatic Delaware says. Little homage to our good pal, Stratomatic Delaware. Going to bottom of 5. And Baganiti is, Baganiti is hitting a bag of. So here is their stats lines. So who do we got coming up? We got a lefty, a righty, and a lefty. So how about a lefty? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Brad Cecil. Oh, my God. He was good with Toronto. I'll just say that. He was okay with Toronto. He wasn't good. I guess he was okay. He was good enough to sign a contract with the Cardinals and make the Cardinals waste a bunch of money on him. Go to the bottom of 5. Killmeyer due up. Singled and hit to short. Uh-oh. That's going to be a double in the corner, and that's going to fall in. And Brett Cecil, way to go, buddy.
No outs, man on second.
Cecil pitched 22 in the third inning so far. He's given 14 hits and a home run. 6 runs, 6 walks, 28 strikeouts, a 2.01 ERA. Like I said, I thought he was pretty good with Toronto. The Cardinals, needing a left-hander in the bullpen, signed him to a pretty sizable contract where he decided to, literally do nothing to help the team. That's going to be strike him out. Martin down on the strikeout.
1 out, man on second.
That brings up Brad Miller. Flying out to left field and grounded to short. Another strikeout by Cecil.
2 outs, man on second.
The one-year wonder boy himself. He's going to face off against Matt Duffy. Uh-oh. Usually the 6 columns are deep fly or home runs.
No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. Top of the 6th.
Doubles, triples, chance of home runs. Brad Boxberger is coming back in here in the top of the 6th, facing off against Devin Travis. Devin flied to center and grounded back to the pitcher. Boxberger giving up 2 home runs on the season, 7 strikeouts, 7 walks, 10 strikeouts. That's in the right column, just not the right number, as that's going to be a strikeout.
1 out, bases empty.
And brings up Jose Bautista. He walked, he grounded back to the pitcher and grounded to the third. So Jose's due for something good here. 277 average. Dave Little, good evening, baseball fans. Right column, wrong number again. So to those of you at home that are watching this have never seen PC replay, so you're going to look at the number on the pitcher's card, and you're going to look at the number in the batter's card, and you're going to add these two together and get a total. So you can see 36 and 2 is going to be 38. So whatever 38 is on the chart in the 6 columns, in this case, is going to be a strikeout. Usually 40 to 42. So if we would have rolled, say, a 6 on the, let's see, it was 6, 5, and 6, 3. So you go 6, the red dice is used for the column for both of them. Then the white dice is used for the batter. The blue dice is used for the pitcher. So you can see, so it was a 6, 3 and a 6, 5. So 6, 5 and then 6, 3, you combine these two together, and that gives you your play results. But if we would have rolled, say, 6, 5, 6, that would have been a 4, plus our 36 would have gave us a 40, and then he would have probably hit it out. So that's where usually lower numbers on the pitcher's cards are better. The more points you add to the results are going to give the batter higher numbers, which are usually better for them. And you can see he's got 36 to 36 and 36, so he strikes out a lot. But if you can get enough numbers donated by the pitcher, then those strikeouts will turn into home runs. So that's basically how, in a nutshell, PC Replay plays. You're trying to, as the batter, to get hits, you want to get those higher numbers.
2 outs, bases empty.
There are some special locations on the card. Usually the 2-6 location has got a special result where you're going to be checking the range. And the 4 column, I think, are mostly walks or chances of walks. 1-1-1 is usually going to be a single possible error. We're going to roll against his error check. 36, it's not higher, so no error on Corey Dickerson. But
2 outs, man on
2
first.
out, Donaldson on first. You can see here, the pitcher will get certain results or have a certain card results, but if he becomes tired, then he uses his B results, which are going to add points, which we just talked about. So, you know, things like the 2 are all of a sudden going to be 4s, and the 4s are going to be 6s. So right now he's in orange BR, which means if he allows another base runner, he would go to his B rating, I believe. So everything I'm saying is from memory. I could be slightly off, but I don't think I am. And we had the same thing here. Remember, Bautista was a 37.
No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on.
Bautista was a 37. He's a 36. So Edward Encarnacion, he needs to get more points donated to get these home run results. Bautista needed, 37. He needs like a 3. Well, Edward Encarnacion needs a 4. But that also doesn't take into consideration the 11, because I believe 11, 12, 13, and 14 are all home runs as well. So if he rolls a 6-6, it's going to be gone no matter what the pitcher does. So there is some interaction there. It does take a little while to figure all this stuff out. It took me quite a few games to figure out and just watch the results played and figuring out what was going on. So
Bottom of the 6th.
all right, so we're going to bottom of 6, 8-6, Tampa Bay. Down here, too, going into the bottom of 6, and Brett Cecil, oh, God. It's going to be a ground ball hit to second base. Travis is going to make that play. And
1 out, base is empty.
you can see on the pitcher's cards and sometimes on the batter cards, there's double numbers. Like this number here is going to be against lefties. This one's going to be against right-handers. If they got the double number in there. And then sometimes the pitcher has an upper number, which is going to come into play, like an upper number 3, an upper number 4, upper number 3, upper number 2. And I'll try to remember what that does here in a minute. That's going to be line drive single into center field. Again, high number, 62 plus 3 is 65. So it's going to be a single.
1 out, man on first.
If Brett Cecil would have donated a 1, it might not have been. I don't know the exact numbers. Now, remember, he was in a BR rating, which meant next base runner is going to put him into his B rating. So now he's in his B rating. So we got a lefty, a righty, and a righty. So let's see if you can get through one more lefty there, Brett. The ground ball hits a second, forced at second. No double play.
2 outs, man on first.
2 outs. Do we try to get him through this inning? We got 2 righties and a lefty, and then a righty, and then a lefty. He's got 2 righties. Oh, they're going to put the steal on, actually, so it doesn't matter what we do. So Brett Cecil, let's see what you can do for us. Caught stealing, thrown out.
No runs, 1
Wow.
hit, and none left on.
Excelente. I won't have to decide whether or not to pull him because we just caught him trying to steal.
Top of the 7th.
Go to the 7th. 8-6 Toronto. Most of the Lightning came fast and furious in this one. Fast and furious. Boxberger is in his B rating. So again, there will be some adjustments to his stats. And that's going to be a ground. Oh, it's going to be a walk. So, oh yeah, the B rating, right. So you can see all the numbers on his 1 to 6 has disappeared. We just use these numbers down here at the very bottom now. So anytime you roll in the 5 column, he's going to add 5. But they're going to pull him here because that was probably
No outs, man on first.
that was probably the
They're
last.
making the call to the bullpen.
Yep, I kind of figured that. As a relief pitcher now, when you bring in a relief pitcher, okay, you can choose as the batter the option of using the top row of any one column from the relief pitchers, column 3, 5, or 6, for that first batter that he faces. So 3, 5, or 6. So what this means is if you roll a 3-4, okay, which would be 2, it doesn't go to that. It uses the top number. So like 6, 5 would give you 5 points, but if you choose the 6 column, it's actually going to be 4 points. It kind of gives the pitch, when you bring in a relief pitcher, it kind of gives them one go against like the first batter they face. It kind of gives them a slight advantage because they use, if you look at all the cards, just about every card has got the same thing. The lowest numbers are always at the very top, and as you proceed down the column, they usually end up going higher. So you can see column 3 is a good example. It's a 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. As we've talked about, the more points you donate to the batter's points, the better chance they're going to get hits and stuff. So you want the lower numbers. So you can see here, it goes 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. But if we roll a 6, 6, it's actually going to only be a 4. So that could actually, those one numbers actually make a big difference. So I'll just choose the 3 column. That's fine.
The defense is playing in at the corners.
In at the corners, expecting the bunt, but unfortunately, it looks like they rolled an auto steal on us. I remember there's a way, and I'm not sure exactly how it does it, but if the result on the previous card is a certain number and the next batter comes up and it has that number, then the batter automatically tries to steal, even though, look, he's probably going to get caught unless, of course, we roll a 7. Come on, 7. or a wild pitch, a 10 or a 12. Oh, he's caught.
1 out, bases empty.
And we got a new relief pitcher coming in, so we have the same thing. We're just going to use the 3 column again. That's fine. It's Russell Martin. He's got 2 singles and a strikeout. And that's going to be 65. So, yep, big donations there. Big donations. And remember, you only get 1 column. You can see how the 3 column now, it doesn't matter what we rolled on that because it's always going to use the 1. Fortunately, we chose the 6 column. So if you got a really, each column kind of represents a different thing in the game. Like we talked about, 4s are usually whether they walk or they're going to be a ground out to like first base or second base or something like that, or they're walks. So they kind of represent walking and hitting to infielders. Column 6 is like your deep flies, doubles or flyouts to your fielders in the outfield, or strikeouts. Column 1s are usually strikeouts. So I'm not exactly sure on every single column what every column does, but they kind of, each one represents a different thing. So if the relief pitcher comes in and you got a guy that's coming up to the plate that doesn't hit very many home runs, you might want to choose the 6 column because it doesn't matter what number you use there because he's probably got really bad results on his 6 column. So
1 out.
there is a lot of strategy to the game once you understand all the fine ins and outs and of how to play. And like I said, I played 60, 70 games of the Baltimore Orioles earlier, a couple years ago or whatever it was. It just doesn't feel like it's hard because it's not like I can look at this pitcher card and go, oh, he's really good against left-handers, or oh, he's going to strike out a lot of guys. Yeah, it's very unlike that. It's, if you look at like an inside pitch card or a Stratomatic baseball card or anything like that, you can look at the card and go, okay, this guy's good against left-handers. He's going to give up a couple doubles, but he also has a lot of strikeouts. And this, all you see are 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. And until you understand, if you got a column of all 1s, that's really, really good, right? And he's going to strike out a lot of people. And if you got like a column of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're like, oh, this guy gives up a lot of hits because he doesn't strike out a lot of people. So you got to actually understand a lot more to look at this card and go, oh, yeah, this guy's good at this and not good at this. Like this guy gives up a lot of home runs. A lot of big numbers here, which we talked about, right? So, I mean, you got a 36 here. You're going to add 5 to that. It's going to be 41. That's a home run, right? So anywhere, like if it's a 5, it's going to be a 6-3, a 6-4, a 6-5, or 6-6. That's going to be probably a home run. Let's see. Troy Tulowitzki, speaking of the devil, he's got himself 16 home runs on the season, batting .235. We'll start 1 runner on, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. It's going to be a ground out. It's back to the pitcher, and advancing on the plays, it's going to be Martin. Only plays at first. So yeah, that instead of being like a ground out to the pitcher, you can see the result here. If you have their charts and you're watching me play, you can actually look at the charts and understand a little bit more. But anything between 35 and 39 is going to be a ground out to the pitcher. Now number 40, right, is going to be probably a base hit. So you can see in this case, Troy Tulowitzki, he just needs a little bit of help and he'll have a hit as opposed to a ground out. But fortunately for Tampa Bay, he's got a 1-1-1-1-1, so he's only ever going to get a 39. So he's only ever going to get a ground out as opposed to a single. So what he needs on his card is a 39, not a 38 to get that, right? So, and I don't know for sure if 40 is a ground out or a single, but it's a different result. 35 to 39 is going to be a ground out every single time.
2 outs, men on third.
I guess I could look up I could have the charts over here. But anyways, two-way runner in scoring position. Wild pitch, pass ball, anything would be nice. Nope, that's going to be a strikeout. I was just talking about, I think like 2 to 6 is a strikeout.
No
7
runs,
to 10 is a
1
pop
hit,
out.
and 1 left on.
So yeah, that's a great example. You can see 2 to 6 are always strikeouts. So if you look at your batter's cards, you know that a 1, a 1, a 1, a 1, a 2, a 3 are really bad, right? Because no matter, unless you're getting a whole bunch of numbers from the pitcher, that's going to be a strikeout, 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 that's going to be a strikeout. And then a 7 to 10 is a pop-up. So you need to get at least 11 points there to get something that's not a strikeout or a pop-up. So cards here that are going to have like a 6 or 8, 9s in here, they might get more hits than runners with 1s and 2s and 3s.
Bottom of the 7th.
Bottom of 7th, we're going 7th inning stretch time, my friends. I'm just trying to explain some things for you guys because you'll probably be watching a few of these games, and I don't want you not understanding what's going on. If everyone understands, I don't need to help you out. Brett Cecil, your day is done. You actually got through, what, 2 scoreless innings? Haha. That's a way to fool the Cardinals into thinking you're going to be a good player. Let's bring in let's see, Barnes. What is Barnes' bullpen? So Barnes, yeah, he hasn't pitched in the last 5 days. He's not due to scheduled, so that's good. Let's bring in Barnes. And these numbers mean something. I don't remember right off the top of my head. 3-7. I think that means he has to wait until the 7th inning to come in, or normally came in the 7th inning. I think that's what that 7 means there. And then the 3 means something as opposed to this guy's 4. What it means, I don't recall. I'm sorry. Danny Barnes. I'll read my rule book again, and I'll have some more information for you guys next time. All right, so due up for your Tampa Bay Rays, 68 and 94, 5th in the American League. Kevin Cash is the manager. Looks like Luke Malley's coming up, grounded to short and a single, 1 for 2 on the day. Facing off against Barnes. It's going to be hit to second, ground out to first. It's a 4-3 play. Now we looked at the pitcher for Toronto. Remember, he had all 1s on his first column. This guy here, Danny Barnes, he's got all 1s and a 2. So if I roll 1-6, he's going to give 2 points, which might make a big difference in what the results is here. Now remember, we looked at 2 to 7 is a strikeout in column 1, or 2 to 6 is a strikeout. 7 to 10 is a pop out. Notice Luke Malley here; he's got a 10, right? And no matter what you add to that, so that was probably going to be a base hit, right? So
1 out, bases empty.
But you got to understand all this other stuff before you can look at a card and go, okay, this guy's, he's going to have a hit here, he's going to have a hit here, and blah, blah, blah. And of course, that's based upon their season stats as well. So that's a 32. So a 32 is going to be lined out to right field. So if it would have been a 34 to 37, it would have been a double, right? So he rolled a 32. He needed 2 more points. So instead of a 2, he needed a 4. So if it had been a 3-5 or a 3-6, that would have been a double as opposed to a line out. So that's how you know, 1 or 2 points different could make the difference in
2
a
outs,
play.
base is empty.
2 outs here, bottom of 7th. That's it's going to be a hit ball hit to first.
And just like that, the inning's over.
All right, 2
Top of
innings
the 8th.
left. Pilar doubled, popped up to third, and struck out. Looks like Danny Farquhar here. Farquhar. You know what that's from? That's from Shrek. Farquhar. That's going to be a 14 ball hit to second. Possible error check. We're going to roll, and he's got 55, so we need a higher than a 55, I think. That's a 51. Not close enough. I mean, close, but not high enough. And then the blue dice determines if it's 1 base or 2 bases. That's why there's 3 dice there. First 2 numbers are based upon the error rating. You have to roll higher, and then I think you need like 1, 2, 3, 4's 1 base, and 5 and 6 is 2 bases, or something like that. Anyways,
1 out, base is empty.
the more we play it, the more I'll remember things. All right, 1 out. Top of the 8th, we got Devin Travis flying out to center, grounded the pitcher, and struck out. 15 plus 1 is 16. That could be a single. It is a single. Possible error on Longoria. He's got to pick it up and throw it. 51, so we need higher than a 51. Nope, 31, so it's going to be no error as Travis reaches up way up in the sky, comes off the base, and that's going to be an infield
1 out,
single.
man on first.
1 out. There are other options that I need to look at, and I'll probably have changed for next game, where I think the option is now on the auto steal. We talked about auto steal earlier, because you notice I have no option to actually tell this guy I want to steal, right? So there's an option to have an auto steal based upon the dice rolls from the previous batter and blah, blah, blah. Or you can actually take that off and just use normal steal whenever you want to try to steal. And I'll probably do that from now on, because in this situation, it might be worth trying to steal. But I can't because I don't have that option on. We could try and hit and run. Jose, hit and run, if you do hit and run, you use these, you ignore everything here and you just look at these numbers here. And in the rule book, it tells you what numbers to look for. And they say, well, these are good hit and run batters. If you see like lots of 18s and 19s, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't remember what these numbers are, so I'll have to look at my. I think IDJ says you could roll your own. Yes, you can roll your own. Right up here, manual input. So I go here and I can say standard, detailed, rare. I think you can put it. So you roll your own, you look at the chart, and then you click on the result. I don't know if you can actually enter it in and it's auto-selected for you. I don't believe so. I've never done it. You'd have to ask Clinton Parks about all that stuff. But there's also an option to watch the other games, and I haven't been able to figure out how to get the other games on here. Oh, I wonder if, yeah, that's right. I know why. I know exactly why. Let's save and exit the game. Let's shoot. It's when you, yeah, I don't remember how to do it now. It's not actually on this. It's when you go to run the game, you got to tell us you're running the whole day and you're playing this game. That's why we don't see the other ones. But I don't want to screw up what's happening here. So we'll look at that when this gets done. I'll show you guys how to do that. You did pause the other game and they were not playing at the same time. Yeah, no, they were playing at the other time. I'll show you how to do that. So we got, what do we have? Runner on, 1 out. I don't know if Jose Bautista, he's going to hit our home run or he's going to strike out. So let's just see what happens. Oh, we got a possible rare play. And you roll, and it's going to be 1 is a possible foul out. 1, 3, 5. So if it's odd, you have like a pop out situation where it's either a foul out based upon the how much room there is on the foul territory. If you roll even, then it's an actual rare play. So in this case, we rolled an even, and number 3 is rare play, roll 2 dice, and we're going to look at the rare play in the book, which happens to be a 13. Batter strikes out and picked off. Bautista takes a called third strike, and catcher fires a strike down to first base. Travis is picked off to complete the double play. That's going to be a what? 2, 3 double plays? Jesus. Scoring play, strikeout and pickout. Travis out at first, catcher first base, end of the inning. Wow. Well, what a way to end the inning there.
Bottom of the 8th.
Ooh, Todd says it's 5 below. Ouch, Todd. Try to stay warm, my friend. Try to stay warm. Wow. All right, here we go. Danny Barnes. Yes, let's do him. 32. Struck him out. Whew.
One out, base is empty.
So we got a lefty, then a righty, and a lefty, but I don't think we have very many lefties in our bullpen. Let's try and get through 8. Uh-oh. Roll a die, and we need a 1. It's going, gone. Brad Miller launches that one. Oh, wait. Danny Barnes has a rating, a control rating, where he'll turn home runs into singles. Which one is that number? I cannot recall. I think it's this here. No, that's his batting. Maybe that was what it was, a 6.4, 6.5. Okay, so yeah, right there. I think it's that little number. So if it would have been this one, he'd have a 1 through 5 chance of turning that home run into a single. This time he only has a 1 out of 6 chance. Come on, another 1. Nope, it's gone. All right, the hometown crowd's on their feet here in the bottom of the 8th. Brad Miller tightened the ball game up, 8-7.
1 out, base is empty.
Barnes. Oh, he got the 6 column again, but another strikeout. So again, the 6 column, big hits.
2 outs, base is empty.
1 column, I think, is strikeouts. 2 column is something. 4 columns are walks. I'll have to remember got a possible rare play again. And what if it's odd number? We're going to look at the foul territory in Tampa Bay, which is pretty big, I think. It is. So we're going to look at the Tampa Bay foul territory, which foul outs right here. 11-35 is a foul out. It's 24, so it's shorthand backhands the ball. It's an error on Tulowitzki.
1 run, 1 hit, and none left on. Top of the 9th. They're bringing in a new pitcher.
All right, who are they bringing in? Kevin Jaspin. Look at his numbers. Remember that guy that was in before was all 1-1-1-1-1. Now we got 3-4-4-4. So some of those strikeouts might turn into hits, or the strikeouts might turn into fly balls. Donaldson grounded to third, hit by pitch, home run, and a single. Yeah, we're not going to be pulling him. Let's let him roll. 6 in column 2 is a strikeout.
1 out, base is empty.
All right, and 20 in column 2 is going to be a fly out to right.
2 outs, base is empty. They're making the call to the bullpen.
Calling in. I mean, it does come with really good AI as well. right? So you don't have to play both teams, which is also another nice advantage. You can actually go in. Nope, not that one. This one here, and you can tell the computer what to do. Like if you don't want it to, substitute players, and you want to do that for yourself, or if you want to make all the in-game decisions, or just the batting decisions, or be able to override infielder decisions. So you can, I can say, oh, I just want this, or I want this, or I want this and this, whatever you want, right? And I don't want that. Okay. So two-way here in the top of the ninth, Xavier Cedeno coming in for Tampa Bay. And that's going to be a looping drive to left field. Corey Dickerson's on the run, makes the catch. That's going to do it for the top of the ninth.
It's a 1-2-3 inning.
And the slimmest of leads
Bottom of the ninth.
We go into the bottom of 9, Toronto and Tampa Bay. 8-7 Toronto. Barnes, you're done, mister. Wow, who was their closer? That's the important thing. Saves right there. 36 saves. It's going to be Osuna, right? So Osuna's going to come in, making the call to the pen. Osuna's coming in. Very frustrating. I got to go to the online dice when I attempt to steal now. I hate today's baseball with all these pitchers. Todd, welcome aboard, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. Osuna is facing off against Franklin, Dickerson, and Malley. And this, of course, they pinch hit for somebody. Osuna on the season, 58 and a third, giving up 44 hits, 8 home runs, 16 runs, 10 walks, 64 strikeouts. So lots of strikeouts. I think column 1 and 2, and maybe even 1, 2, and 3 are all strike 'em out opportunities. Because obviously in baseball, a lot of strikeouts, right? And the ERA of 2.47, whip .93. Let's see if we can get these last 3 outs and lead Toronto to a first game victory here. Ground ball hit to first. Edward Encarnacion backhands it. He's going to take it out at first. Osuna's covering, little flip over, and that's the first out of the inning.
1 out, bases empty.
That brings up Corey Dickerson. Strikeout, ground ball to short, and a ground ball to second. That's going to be a 2 in column 5. That's going to be ground ball down to first base. He needed to get at least 6 points. 6 to 10 is the base on ball. He only got 2 points. So the 4 and the 3 would have been a base on balls. But in this
2
case,
outs, bases empty.
They're down to their last out here, down a run. Malley's already hit 1 single. He's also hit a ground ball to short and a ground ball to second. Osuna trying to close things out for the Blue Jays.
Pinch hitter.
Oh, Malley's being pulled back at the last minute here. Steven Souza Jr. He's coming up, and he's got one thing in mind. Take that baseball out to left field. Upton takes a few steps back. And here we go. 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, down by a run. That's going to be a 6. That's going to be a walk. Osuna takes the walk on the 3-2 pitch. That goes back to the top of the lineup. Forsythe walked, double, ground ball, double play, and a line out to right field. The number inside here represents how many batters he'll face before he'll go to his BR rating, which means the next time a base runner comes on, a walk or whatever, a hit, then he'll go to his B rating, so you can see 2 more. So that's what that little number. If anyone had mentioned that, sorry. Oh, no, it's a 6-6. Oh, no, it's a 6-6. We talked about this all freaking day. Well, Toronto wins if we roll 1, and Tampa Bay wins if we roll anything else on this 6-sider. Forsythe comes up. He's swinging at the first pitch. It's going deep and gone. Game of the day. I bet you this one will be game of the day. Bottom of 9th. They win it
That's
on a
his 20th
walk-off.
home run this season. Tampa Bay wins a close one. Goodbye, everybody.
Woo, yeah, says Dave Little. Todd B. Wow, unbelievable. In the bottom of the ninth, 2-run home run to win it. Logan Forsythe. Of course, you can go to the box score. It has all the box score information. Again, really crisp, clean, quality look to this game. Really crisp, clean, quality look to this game. There's no. You can add your player portraits, which I'm hoping to do. Gives you the dates. You can actually email this. You can make it as an HTML. You can print it out. You can send it if you're in a league. You can send it to all your players. Everything. So here's how you actually start a game. Right. So the only game that actually played was our game. Notice none of the other ones went. If I go to let's see here. New York and Baltimore. If I go to quick start, but this time that might not be the right one. Hey, I know it's one of the options. Hang on, I just have to figure out which one it is. Right? Cancel. Okay. If it's play. Nope, that's not it either. Okay. Yeah. Getting closer. Oh, God damn it. Exit out. Both of the fans of Tropicana are celebrating this game. Richard Hanna is the computer designer for Replay. I wish Strat would hire him. Absolutely. Me and Al talked about Strat, baseball, Replay, every sports sim we could think of yesterday. And the one thing I said was they need to get their interface to equal this interface. So if we go to schedule and we go back to our game, right? It's one of these options is well, if I click on autoplay, yeah, that just plays that one game. Okay, so that's not how to do it. Quick score, it's got to be, I think it's quick start. You go in here, and then you tell it you want to play the other games as well, but I don't, well, if I go to play, I don't think it's play. That just allows you to set up like if you want to set up your own lineups. What am I doing wrong? I know that's how you do it. Replay daily. Oh, games simulcast. I think this is what we do. Here's what we do. Right, the game autos, right, so auto setup, and then you tell it, like if we're, see, here's all the games that we haven't played, right? So if we say we want Detroit and Kansas City, then that will be the game screen that comes up, and then we can choose whether, we're going to put Kansas City as the computer, and then we run this, and then you hit play ball.
From Kansas City, top of the first.
Right. So yeah, there's all the other games. You can see the scores, you can see the innings, you can see how many outs there are, and the games will actually, like, if this game was say like a 7:30 start and the St. Louis and Cincinnati game was like an 8:30 start, you'll actually see this game won't start until like we're in like our third inning. Then all of a sudden you'll see it start moving, which is so cool. Now the other thing is, let's go ahead and autoplay. We'll autoplay to the top of the fourth inning. Yeah, you can see some of the games have already started. Looks like everybody started this one. Okay. Well, let's say we got to, oh, wow, look at Boston. Well, let's see if we can find a good situation. Oh, here we go. Atlanta and Philadelphia. It's the bottom of the third inning, and we got bases loaded with one out. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. Let's go to that game, right? So we can actually just, we could put our game on pause so it won't auto play our game. And we can click
Now
on
let's join the action in Philadelphia.
we can go to the game in Philadelphia. We can actually say, all right, let's take control of Philadelphia, right? Or who's up to bat? It's bottom of the three, so Philly's up to bat. So let's take control of Philadelphia here. Bases loaded. Aaron Altier is up. We can look at his stats. We see everything. We can say, okay, now tell me, guys. I know a lot of you guys play Stratomatic or whatever. Tell me this wouldn't be the coolest thing in Stratomatic if the computer version, you're playing your sim, you're doing your replay, and you could switch over to another game and you can actually play it or watch what happened. You don't have to. I can say, you know what? Let's just watch what happened. I don't want to change what happened, right? So we're just going to tell the computer you're in charge of everything, right? And all I have to do is just say, I want to watch what happens. And I just say, boom, go. Oh, I do have to start it, right? So once I say go, the first time I click it, it'll just start going and going and going and going and going. Oh, is it a home run? Oh, it's a strikeout.
2 outs, bases loaded.
Now look, I'm not hitting anything. You see it just auto rolls to the next batter. Possible error. This one went to Garcia. An error on the play. Adonis Garcia makes the error.
2 outs, men on
Runner on
second
third
and third.
scores. Runner on first moves to third. And, a line drive, single, and an error. Now, I think, let me put this on pause so it won't do any more plays. All right, so I think you actually have to tell, like if we were playing this game, we actually have to tell it to pause this game. So I'm trying to remember, let's end the play.
2
here.
outs, men on first and third.
I think I have to go back. All right, so now I click on the
Now
game.
let's head out to
Oh, shoot.
Minnesota.
No,
for
that's
a
not what I
replay
meant to do.
update.
Let's go back. Where was that? Atlanta,
Now let's
Philadelphia.
join the action in Philadelphia.
But I think there's a way to tell it to, oh, here we go. Right click the game to toggle it for pause. So if I'm playing this game, or let's say I'm playing the New York Baltimore game, I can actually right click it and it'll put that board around it. And our game won't do anything. It won't play, it won't go, and then I can just sit here and watch this. So now tell me that's not like the coolest freaking thing ever. And why the other companies can't do this, they could do it. They just choose not to. And that's why I choose not to buy any more Stratomatic stuff. Because if they're not willing to put the effort into updating their game from 1994, then I'm not willing to spend my money on their game. And I know Stratomatic Delaware tells you guys to support the company and blah, 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 blah. I kind of have to disagree with them on that. I want to support them. I want to buy their things. But they have been using the players for so long, and the players just have been expecting nothing done, and they accept that. And the company's like, well, okay, well, if I don't have to hire a programmer and spend money on updating our program, then we're not going to do it. And every year it's the same thing. Every year it's the same thing. It's a game interface from I don't even know how old the game interface is, and they haven't updated it or changed it or anything in years. And the only thing they've done now is like in 2016 when teams started making defensive alignment changes where they pull like the shortstop over to the left side or the right side. I think that's the only thing they've added to the game in forever. And yeah, so I'm just like, I'd like to support this company, but I'm not going to, because if Replay Baseball can do it, they can do it. They're 5 times the size of Replay Baseball, or maybe even bigger. Okay? How much bigger is Stratomatic versus Replay Baseball? 10 times bigger? 20 times bigger? I've heard the announcers in games once in a while they'll be like, "Oh yeah, they mention Stratomatic or they mention APA or something like that because they're common, right? People understand, they know them. I've never heard an announcer talk about Replay Baseball. Oh yeah, Replay Baseball. Oh yeah, we played that. Blah blah blah. Nothing like that. So I mean, Stratomatic's 10 times, 20 times bigger than Replay Baseball. Replay Baseball has a crisp, clean interface where you can go to other games, you can see the other games, you can import pictures easily and quickly, you can import um, fields, you can do all that stuff quick and easy. And you can't do that in Stratomatic, and they want me to spend $50 or 30, well, $50 on like the new version, but then you also need the season files, which are like $25 to $30 a piece. So, $70 for a new game and the new edition with the new season file. They want me to spend $80 on that? No way. Absolutely not. Uh, you have no. I could go on, and I'm not going to because it irks me to no end when I see a company that refuses to innovate and update because their customers, which are all you guys in the chat, because the customers don't demand it. They don't demand it, so the company doesn't do it. And they haven't demanded it for years, and they've been getting away with it for years, and I'm not going to support that. I'm sorry. I hate to sound like a preacher or whatever, but it just irks me to no end when I see a small company that can do things like this. And then, it's the same thing with Inside Pitch. Inside Pitch, I love the interaction between the baseball, the pitcher and the batter. I love that game. Another small company, but they don't have any AI. They can put AI into the game, but they choose not to, because nobody's demanding that they do it. And it's the same thing with any game company out there. Unless you force them to innovate and create and keep up with the times, they're not going to do it because it costs them money out of their pocket. And that's all. I'm not going to say anymore because you all know how I feel about it. So let's just go ahead and exit out of this and resume. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and what do we see? Let's. Oh, I got to. Yeah, I got to actually resume.
Welcome back to Replay Radio.
I actually have to go back to our game that we started.
First and third.
Right. Yeah, the other cool thing is, I'm playing this game, and another game goes like in the ninth inning, and I want to watch the ending of that one. I just put that one on pause, and then when my game's done, I just flip over to that one and I watch it. So let's go ahead and exit out of this. So let's see. Let's just autoplay to the end of the game. There we go. And then when we exit out, we'll be able to. Okay. Come on. So Philadelphia ended up winning that one 7-5. All 7 runs came. We actually watched most of those 7 runs come in. And Atlanta, all 5 of their runs came in the top of the ninth. Wow, crazy cool game. Okay, let's
head out to Baltimore.
That's
for
because
a replay update.
That's because that one's on pause. I just want to. Oops, wait a minute. I just want to end the game. Thank you. Now I can exit. There we go. So if you do put a game on pause, you won't be able to exit out of the day until you take that one back off of pause. So Mark Forsberg says Replay is a great game. I agree. I have no problem with this game whatsoever. Like we talked about, it's hard for anyone to get into because looking at a baseball card isn't like looking at a Stratomatic card or an Inside Pitch card or anything like that, because you have to. It's kind of like an APA card almost, because APA cards are just numbers. All you see is numbers. And unless you know what those numbers represent, you have no idea what this guy can do, right? So players that play APA and they know, well, an 11's a strikeout, a 21's a single, a 31's a double, blah blah blah. Unless you know all this information, when you look at an APA card, you have no idea what you're looking at. It's kind of the same thing with this game. If you don't know the system and you don't know the fine tuning of what you can do and what you can't do and what's good and what's bad and how to get the extra points added to your players and bring them in the right possible moment, it can make the game a little bit like I have no idea what I'm doing. And then to throw on top of that, their charts are a crazy, if I recall correctly, their charts are like the craziest imaginable thing. Let's see, sports games, baseball, replay. Yeah, so this is, can you guys see this actually? No, you can't. Hang on, let me add a screen capture. Let's just do monitor 1, right? There we go. So let me just slide this up. There we go. So this is like one of their charts, right? So a lot of people look at this and go, "Oh my God, I don't understand this at all." We looked at this column 1, right? So we've looked at this, 2 to 6 is a strikeout, 7 is a pop out to second, 8's a pop out to third, 9 is a pop out to short, 10 is a pop out to first, right? So just as I thought, 11 to 15 are singles, right? So you want to get those combos, so if you're following the game, column 1, if you look at a player's card, you want to get high numbers on there so that when the pitcher adds his only 1 or 2 points or 3 points, you can get that number up to 11, because 2 to 10 are bad, right? So yeah, I mean, this is this is like their crazy. I mean, when you understand it, it's pretty easy to understand. It's not complex. It's just looking at it and going, "Oh my God!" Some people look at this and go, I don't think so. I'm not playing this game because I don't understand anything. Nope. But I don't. I understand the game now a little bit. I'm certainly no expert at it. I know a little bit about it. I know enough to be dangerous. Oh, can you actually? Wait a minute. You guys can't. Can you actually see that? Let's see if I. Where is that coming from? That's a good question. Why is it? No, you're not actually. You're seeing. Oh, you're watching the wrong damn screen. That's why. Right. Hang on, guys. Sorry. Let's remove that. Right. Add source. Screen capture. Is it capture 2? Is that what I want? Yeah, there we go. Now you guys can see. Never happens to me since Clinton Parks. Oh my God, the shenanigans are so deep. It's unbelievable. So yeah, these are the charts we were talking about. So we looked at column 1 specifically. 2 to 6 are strikeouts. We talked about that. 7's a pop up to second. 8's a pop up to third. 9 is a pop up to short. 10 is a pop up to 11. So again, 11 to 15s are singles. You want to look at a player's card. If I got a 9 on my player's card, a 9 as opposed to an 8, a 7, a 6, or 5 are better. So you got to know all that information. You can't just look at a card and go, "Oh yeah, this guy's good, this isn't good," or whatever. Good night. You feel better? Oh, good. All right, so I mean, there's these crazy charts. A lot of people are going to look at these and go, "Oh, I have no idea what all this stuff means, and I don't want to spend the time trying to figure it all out." But it's not that hard. You're just going to look on the column, and then you're going to look at the number, right? So if on column 3, if I roll a 27, I'm just going to come down and look. Oh, 27. It's that falls between 25 and 29. That's a single up the middle. Runners are going to advance 2 bases. On a roll of a 1 and a 2, it's a wild pitch. A 3 or 5, a batter is caught stealing. So, different options there. So those are the charts. You can download those if you want. Let's go to our standings as we end this live stream. Daily report. So we're moving on to Saturday, September 3rd will be the next game. I hope everyone has a great evening. But Toronto now falls 2 games back. Baltimore, let's see what ended up happening here. We lost, obviously. And let's see, what was the game of the day? You gentlemen were so lucky. Look at that. We were game of the day. Did I not call that after he hit that home run? The play of the day took place between Toronto and Tampa Bay in Tropicana Field on Friday. Bottom of the 9th, Tampa Bay batting, men on first, 2 outs, trailing 8-7. Logan Forsythe hit a game-winning 2-run home run. Just like I planned it. Oh, God. Toronto's still 2 games back. Looks like Baltimore. What happened to Baltimore? Baltimore beat the Yankees 8-2. So they're coming a little bit closer. Our lead in the wild card went to 4 games. It was at 5, I believe. So it's down to 4 games. So we got to watch Baltimore. We got to watch Boston. What happened with Boston? Shall we look? Boston beat Oakland 4-2. So that's why I wanted to have, when you're doing the replays and you're watching the games, obviously there's going to be games we're going to be interested in, and the games we were going to stop our games so we can actually watch when important things happen in the other game, right? Alex Reyes struck out 13 Cincinnati batter, but it wasn't enough as St. Louis beat them 2-0. Wow. What is the price point for replay cards and dice? Don't know, because I haven't bought any replay cards and dice. I know the computer game is, you buy the computer game and it's $49, and then you get to choose a season to add to it for free. So basically for $49 or $50 you get the computer game and you get, I think, a season of your choice for free. And then each of the computer seasons, I think, are like $24, $25, somewhere in there. I think sometimes they run specials or seasonal events and stuff like that, where you get like 15 or 20 or 30% off, or like buy 2 seasons get 1 free or something like that. You just have to watch their website for that. I don't know how much it is for cards and dice because I have the cards and dice. I probably would play the cards and dice, but I would tell you what. Here's what I would tell you. I would probably not play cards and dice for PC Replay Baseball. I would probably never do that. And the reason I would never do that is because the computer version is so nice. It's nice, it's simple, it's easy, everything's well done, the interface is great. But when I look at Stratomatic Baseball, I would rather play the cards and dice than the computer version. And doesn't that tell you everything you need to know? I would never probably play the computer version over the cards and dice, because there's no advantage in using the computer version. It's awful. It's terrible. It looks awful. I hate it. No, I'm not going to get on that. We're going to end the live stream. I appreciate all my good friends out there that came by to say hello. Seriously, thank you so much. Mark Forsberg, Todd B., Ken Castro. How you doing, Ken? Hopefully all's well. Beatles eternally. Great baseball channel. Guys, check him out as well. Al, Red Sox fan. He's doing everything crazy on his channel. He's did some boxing game. Wonderful boxing game from our good friend Bleacher Bums Gaming. Dave Little, of course. Thank you very much for coming by. Clinton Parks, more shenanigans. Of course, he was in the chat when fricking Tampa Bay fricking won on the 2-run home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, because Clinton Parks was here pulling his BS shenanigans. Can't wait to talk to him. Cannot wait to talk to him a week from Thursday. No, I'm sorry, a week from Tuesday. So a week from Tuesday, Clinton Parks will be on live on our channel. Don't forget baseball demos next Tuesday. We'll be bringing you more. We're doing the last 30 games of the Toronto Blue Jays 2016 season. That was a random thing. We had the computer simulate it. The season up until the end of August, then we decided which team in the middle of a race was interesting to play. It came down to Toronto, Washington, and Pittsburgh, and we decided to choose Toronto because Toronto was 2 games back of Boston and 1 game up in the wild card, so they had a possibility of winning their division or actually moving all the way down out of the wild card as well. So interesting. So yeah, we decided on Toronto. So that's how we did it. And I think I'm doing a season replay where you're doing 162 games is so much. It's just too much. So I'm gonna do these. The last 30s, what I'm calling them, the last 30. I'm going to take the last 30 games. When we get done with this one, we'll probably use like Action PC Baseball. We'll choose a different season. We'll choose a different team. We'll run it through the end of September, and then we'll pick a team to play through the last 30 games and see if we can get them in the playoffs or get them to win their division or whatever we end up, doing. So very interesting. I love the game. You know how I feel about things. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like a preacher and piss anybody off. I know there's just a lot of Stratomatic followers out there, a lot of devotees, and a lot of people that appreciate all the work and effort they do, and that's great. If you do that and you love that, that's great. I don't have anything against you personally at all. That's all I have to say about that. How do you beat the Cubs? Easily. You just play Cincinnati, and Cincinnati always beats the Cubs. So if you want to beat the Cubs, just play Cincinnati. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, and we'll see you. Thanks for watching, guys.